coursework on the sideline as we get ready to start the season in style. And tipping off the NBA season, here are the starting lineups. First, for the Bucks, Brandon Knight is out there with Mayo. And it's Sanders in at the 5, roaming the paint. And it's Caron Butler. And it's Ilyasova in at the 4 slot. And for New York, Bell's up with Iman Shumpert. And it's Chandler in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Then it's Anthony, and it's Bargnani in at the 4.
Guys, it was no secret that last season the Knicks were really a perimeter-oriented team. They had some solid inside players, but basically those inside guys were there to set screens.
I'm just letting you know, guys, I won't be starting in the game because I gotta earn myself on the. I'm gonna be on the bench, but I gotta earn myself off the bench. So I'm just letting y'all know I won't be able to play the game 1.
Back to what you said last year about the Knicks. Last in points in the paint, only about a third of their points inside. Very little around the basket, Steve. It became an issue at times.
Well, it was an interesting group, Kevin. So many shooters. Carmelo really represented their only low post threat. Even Tyson Chandler, his baskets were mostly offensive putbacks. So it was almost small ball all season long, but it was very interesting to watch.
And so the Milwaukee Bucks get the first points of the ballgame. Here's Felton. That one off the back iron and out.
That's his comfort zone. So defensively, really nice job challenging the shot.
Nice ball movement by Milwaukee. Here's Butler. Sinks the three-pointer.
There's a chance he could have a on the rim.
There's to Carmelo. The assist there.
And the layup, just gift wrap right there. I mean, he had a clear path to the basket.
Knight kicks to Ilyasova. 3 off. Position opportunity.
And it wasn't just the tough D, it was the exclamation point they put on the fast break with the slam.
Here's Shumpert after the basket by Milwaukee. Chandler, the pass to Shumpert. Outside for Felton. Shot clock at 5. Here's Chandler. And it's good. Through contact, it's the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spots. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be. Tyson Chandler, first-time All-Star last season. His 12th season in the league. This is a guy that came right out of high school. It was a long time coming for him, but certainly that All-Star berth well-deserved.
Free throw, no good.
After this game, we're gonna do NBA 2K20. Cause to tell you the truth, my bad for telling y'all the truth, and I'm always talking, but I just wanted to let y'all know if I had all the 2Ks, I'd do a series on them. But I don't have all the 2Ks. I only got 14, 18, 19, 20, and 21. Those are the only 2Ks I got. I wish I did though. It wouldn't be no problem.
Kicks to Ilyasova. Yes, and Knight with the assist that time.
They've been hot here early, dropping them in left and right.
Let's see how long they work.
Felton kicks to Bargnani. Pass to Shumpert. Back to Bargnani. And there's the feed to Chandler. And O.J. Mayo pulls it down.
Well, they'll give him that shot. He doesn't have the most reliable jump shot in the world. We know that.
Really left alone that time. Here's Felton. Pass to Chandler. All sorts of time. And the shot is good. Chandler's got 6.
He's feeling it here to start the game. That's 3 out of 4 already.
Ilyasova can't hit.
It has not been an easy quarter for him. offensively speaking. You know, in Larry Drew's case, it was a bit of an unusual situation once the season concluded. He was in the final year of his deal. The Hawks said,
All right, come on, Bucks. Come on, Bucks. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
He landed in Milwaukee.
And they come
There you go.
back with their own three-pointer. He has 5.
How about the response? Retaliation. Impressive, huh, guys?
I'll say exactly that as well. Nice job to recover those 3 points right away.
Now here's Chandler. Help the bucket. Well, Stephen, back to Coach Drew. Of course, he ended up signing with the Bucks.
Well, that was an interesting move for him to go from Atlanta to Milwaukee. You know, the Hawks were one of the better defensive teams in the league last year. I think that's what the Bucks saw in Drew. And that's the idea for him to really help this team get the most out of its players, particularly defensively.
Now, here is Knight. Following the miss by Carmelo Anthony. Shot from the low block. There's the pass to Ilyasova. Another miss by Ilyasova.
And a poor shooting performance for him today, but luckily for them, a lot of his teammates have come through.
Shot for dishes to Bargnani. And stolen by Knight. Ilyasova, a screen on Chandler. Knight passes to Sanders. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
Well, I think Larry Sanders is one of the most improved players in the league, guys. I don't know where you stand on it, but, you know, he led the league in ejections, too, with 5. He's got to control and manage his emotions a little better.
First free throw is good. Back to Sanders, he said he's taking steps to keep his composure. Not getting to other players and feel the wrath of officials. Those technicals were piling up.
Well, Kevin, he's already made some nice strides in his approach to the game, just eating right, getting to the gym early. You know, you really have to learn how to become a professional, and I think Sanders has made that next step.
No good on the second free throw.
Well, after a brief 2-year drought, the Bucks got back to the playoffs this past season, but it wasn't pretty once they got there. Several guarantees from players about upsetting the Heat. They didn't win a single game and were swept by the Miami Heat.
And it's world peace missing. Bucks leading by 5. The dish to Delfino. Hits it from three-point range.
3.
Delfino's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Back to the Bucks in the playoffs. In every aspect, they were overmatched by the Heat, and no one really thought they would upset them. But many thought, Steve, that they would at least get a game.
Well, I wasn't one of them, Kevin. I thought they were overmatched from the start. And you could tell in that series, Miami wasn't even interested until the fourth quarter. They knew they could just flip a switch and beat this Milwaukee team. And that's exactly what they did.
That pushes it to double digits.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any agenda.
It's hard to overstate all the points they've scored on assists today. Beautiful to watch.
And Prigioni gets the mark. Stoudemire left side. Smith for 3. That's good.
Offensively, he can be the engine that drives them at any given time.
No shortage of scoring here at the end of the first quarter. Bucks lead by 7. And after this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports.
Bring your costume. It's Halloween in the NBA. Carmelo Anthony and the New York Knicks take on Joakim Noah and the Chicago Bulls this Thursday, 7 o'clock Central.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Bucks.
Boy, their frenetic defense has really been impressive, putting a lot of pressure on ball handlers.
Knicks trail by 11. Outside jumper. Inside. Here's Anthony. Anthony, good on the shot, and that shaves the lead to single digits. Anthony's got his second bucket tonight.
So that's been a big part of their offense in the early stage. I mean, their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range, right at the rim.
And I would continue to do it. Force the
And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Tied for three.
A good shooter like that open. Well, Brandon Knight out of Kentucky is more of a combo guard than a pure point when you look at him offensively. But with his long arms and good athleticism and at 6'3", I think there's a lot of upside for him at the defensive end of the floor. I think he's a guy that can defend one and twos effectively. You know, he's knocking down his shots today, but it hasn't really translated to the scoreboard yet.
Pass to Sanders. Butler against Anthony. Butler attacking. And he gets it to go. Butler's got the lead up to 12 now for Milwaukee. And for Brandon Knight offensively, he's still trying to figure it out.
I think he's best as a spot-up shooter. He does have some point guard skills. He's got some athleticism, but he's really an excellent outside shooter when he's got time to set up.
And Doris Berg has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, a curious signing for the Bucks this offseason, bringing in Pachulia on a 3-year mid-level type deal. This is a team that already had a logjam in the front court with Sanders, Benson, Ilyasova, and Drew Gooden. The Bucks traded away promising forward Tobias Harris last year for what became a couple of second-round picks. They did much the same with Mbah a Moute. It's all about getting the most out of your assets. Guys, we'll see how the Bucks do shuffling their pieces around.
Interesting to see. Thanks, Doris.
He's a grinder. Love what he does under the offensive boards, really bringing energy and life to his team.
Sanders. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
You know, one of the bigger improvements last season, as I saw it, was Larry Sanders transforming from a specialist role player into a legitimate starting center. I mean, he always had a knack for defense and blocking shots and rebounding, but he polished up his offensive skills enough to be an impact player at that end of the floor.
That free throw, no good. And for Sanders, some of his improvement offensively was just sticking to his strength, finishing around the rim.
Yeah, he improved his shot selection. He's always played with a lot of energy, but I think his decision-making was the reason he finished third in most improved player voting last year.
Nice young player for Milwaukee. Martin's checked in for New York. Alvo Brehione comes in for Bargnani. That's off as well, so he misses both.
A lot of high hopes for the Knicks in last year's playoffs. They started off so hot, but then let the series against Boston drag on, and eventually went to 7 games, and they fell to the Pacers in the second round after that.
Knight dishes to Ilyasova. Here's Sanders. It's Mayo on the wing. Feeds it to Ilyasova. 6 on the shot clock. He kicks it to Knight. From downtown, good. Knight's got 8 here in the quarter.
The defenders need to talk to each other. The communication lacking there on that three-pointer.
On the wing, Shumpert. Can't get it to go. Some solid defense from Butler. Here's Mayo. Takes it into the teeth of the knee and converts the layup. Mayo's got his second bucket tonight. So we've reached the end of the first half of play. Bucks ahead, up by 15.
And now, brought to you by Sprint. It's the first game of the NBA season, but on the halftime report, we're already in mid-season form. The Milwaukee Bucks have the lead against New York. They'd like to get this season off to a good start today. Take care. The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but you know, anything can happen.
He's been absolutely in control. No slowing down for Chandler. He has 12 points and 2 rebounds.
Knicks trail by 15. Outside, Felton. He feeds it to Shumpert. Back to Felton. Shot clock at 6. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. It goes on Brandon Knight.
In his return to New York, I tell you, Raymond Felton looked to have his best season yet as a pro. He came in and made plays and filled the void left at the point guard spot for the Knicks.
And the first one at the line is good. And for Felton, I guess, just something in the water in New York. Stevie, he's played his best basketball in the big city.
Yeah, he had a good run there several years back before he was traded to Denver as part of that Carmelo Anthony trade. And now that he's back in New York, Felton, once again, having a terrific impact on that team.
Hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line. Mayo kicks to Knight. He dishes it to Sanders. Knight passes to Sanders.
Well, the one thing that you have to have in basketball is big men who can protect the rim, and that's what Sanders does. He's willing to go up and block shots, really patrol the paint, and protect that rim area.
Yeah, you know, but there's nothing easy in the lane when Sanders is on the floor. Always have to be looking over your shoulder if you plan on putting up a shot with him around. The first one falls.
Well, you know, the Bucks thought they had a plan to make a big push forward by pairing some talent together in the backcourt, but what seems to have happened is they are now mired in mediocrity, which is exactly where you don't want to be.
Good on both. Felton with the ball. Shot clock at 6. Mariani dishes to Carmelo. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. And back to Minnesota. They were the 8th seed in the East last year, but still finished 6 games under 500. Still a lot of work for them to get above 500 and be in a position where, Steve, they are, competing for home court in the playoffs.
Yeah, a lot of changes for the Bucks in the offseason, but a team that was able to sneak in last year, they're hopeful to make it once again this season, but it feels like they're kind of stuck in the middle right now.
That free throw good from Anthony.
Well, for so long, the Knicks have been the punchline of the Eastern Conference the last decade. Poorly managed contracts and questionable trades really kept them from rising to the top in the East, but once again now they look like a powerhouse.
Both free throws good from Anthony. And Clark, you were right. The Knicks were a powerhouse last season. Steve, 37 wins against the rest of the conference, and they just would dominate other teams at times.
Well, they're a team that doesn't really want to run a lot or force tempo. They just kind of want to get you in the half court. They don't turn the ball over, and they bury you from long range. So they found their identity last year, and it really dominated in that Eastern Conference.
And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, guys, J.R. Smith is a player who has faced his share of criticism over the
players on the team first. Thanks, Doris. And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. This game against Milwaukee here. It's their first look to start the season.
Well, they took care of business last year. I mean, they swept the season series from them, as they should have, because they're the better team.
Knicks trailed by 14. Outside, Felton. Felton off the pick from Chandler. New York moving the ball around. And Shumpert kicks to Chandler. Shot clock at 4, and it's good on the way up. Chandler's got 14 points for the game.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Guys, well, Larry Drew had some advice for his team over that last break. He wanted them running a more structured offense. He said, this isn't playground basketball. We need guys working together to create better opportunities. He also wants his players putting pressure on the defense with early offense. Lots of shots and an aggressive approach in general whenever they've got the ball. Probably a good time to make some changes with a good chunk of the second half still to go, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris. Going back to what Steve just said, this must have been one of their favorite opponents last year.
Well, they match up well with almost anyone they played, but especially these guys.
Anthony, right side. Second shot opportunity. Yep, it goes in, and Milwaukee leads it down 12 on the bucket from Mike.
They're going to turn this thing around. He's got to take charge. He's got to be aggressive and really look to push here offensively.
Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Yeah, this is threatening to get kind of ugly out here.
Here's Udrich. And World Beast kicks to Udrich. Smith for three. Nice again. Points on the bucket from
Much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
I agree. They need more energy in the post, maybe some double teaming. They've got to get their defense in gear.
Dishes it to Delfino. 6 on the shot clock. Kicks to Ridnour. Rejected by Smith. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Kenyon Martin is checked in for Anthony. Knicks trail by 12.
You know, when you're in the East, you don't have to necessarily be an above 500 team on the road, but you got to be close to 500. The Bucks were a solid team on the road, and that's why they made the playoffs.
They can't afford to give him that kind of look.
Well, they came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you got to fight over the top of that.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. And Clark, you talk about the Bucks. They went 17-24 on the road last season. That might not be the most impressive mark, but it was still 7th best in the conference in terms of road wins.
Well, the East was pretty weak. We know that. And the Bucks making the playoffs at all was the perfect example of how weak the East was. But look, they can get better. They've got some young talent. They've got some things to be excited about. And one is the play of John Henson, second-year man from North Carolina.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Thanks, Kev. Mike Woodson had some words for his team over that last break. He spoke very adamantly about being much more active in defending the perimeter shot, saying no more soft defense on the perimeter. I want you guys all over their shooters. The other thing he touched on was the physical aspect of this contest. He wants his guys using their strength and muscle to make things. Some adjustments there had to be made because the time left for a comeback quickly running out. Kevin, over to you.
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris. Knicks trail by 12. Smith glides in. Now the feed to Udrich. And again, it's New York. 50 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. shot, and they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltending.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
A different look for Milwaukee. Chris Middleton comes in for Ilyasova, and Gary Neal subbed in for Walters. New York's gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. And it turns out it's going to be a foul. He was hoping for a clean block, but the officials felt otherwise, so we'll see some free throws here. And this is his second trip to throw good, Felton. And the Knicks making a change here. Both free throws good from Felton.
Getting to the stripe is something they've been doing a lot of in the second half, guys.
And when you're behind, I think that's a great strategy. Not only do you get easy points, but the clock stops as well.
Third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Oh, we might as well call it the State Farm play of the game.
Now, here is Knight. Outside Mayo. Knight against Felton. Knight passes to Butler. Tyson Chandler pulls it in. Here's Sanders. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time.
I'll tell you, the other thing, guys, is the mid-range shot has been something that's really worked well for them tonight.
Free throw good, Felton.
You know, the Bucks were the last team to make it into the Eastern Conference playoffs, and part of the reason.
Both free throws good from Felton. Clark, as you were saying, the rest of the Eastern Conference got the better of the Bucks. Had they been a little tougher against some of the lesser teams in their own conference, they might not have had to deal with the Heat in the first round of last year's playoffs.
Well, the Bucks tried to mix things up last year. Remember, they made a big trade at mid-season, too, going for J.J. Redick, moving on from some of the young players. And I think that changed. And, of course, the coaching switch from Scott Skiles to Jim Boylan. So they lost some of their momentum.
Bargnani kicks to Chandler. But they get it back. 6 to shoot. Felton attacking. And with that, the Bucks lead is cut down to just 8 points with the bucket from Chandler.
They've got some good second chances here in the second half, and that kind of extra effort will go a long way into cutting into this deficit.
Ilyasova dishes to Knight. It's rebounded by New York. Chandler's got his 5th rebound in this one. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
High post try. Kept alive by New York.
Well, guys, with the Knicks playing a space-to-floor pick-and-roll offensive scheme, I mean, Tyson Chandler is a hand-in-glove fit as the high-flying finisher inside, keeping defenses honest, and then cleaning up the mess on the weak side board if shots are missed.
knocks down the first one. Chandler hits them both. Bucks leading by 6. Knight kicks to Ilyasova. Passes it to Knight. Bargnani against Ilyasova. Just 5 on the clock. Fires from deep. They get it again. Sanders. And the layup is good. Sanders has got 4 points now in the quarter.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they built this lead for themselves here.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. Clark, you talked about what Chandler has meant for this Knicks team, both on the court and in the locker room. And you wonder, if Dallas, Steve had it to do over, do you think they would have tried harder to re-sign him?
Well, I understood the plan. Dallas felt like with Dirk Nowitzki getting older, they had to save that cap room for a superstar, maybe Dwight Howard or Chris Paul. But it's always easy in hindsight when those things don't happen to say, hey, what were you doing?
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Yes, guys, over that break, I was able to catch the message Mike Woodson was giving to his team. He told his players, guys, we're letting opportunities slip away in transition. Let's push it up the floor, look to score some points in early offense. Kevin, can they pick up the tempo?
Timeout called the Bucks. Here is Ilyasova. It's Mayo on the wing. Sanders with a screen on Shumpert. Mayo with it. Now guarded by Shumpert. He got right to the cup using that screen. That's 7 points for O.J. Mayo.
Guys, that time he went for the fancy finish for us there, man. That was sweet.
Felton against Knight. Felton goes in. And the call will go against Caron Butler. That'll be his second foul of the game. Knight against Felton. And that one's good.
Broke out the finger roll, guys. That was kind of a stylish finish.
3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. Knight kicks to Ilyasova. It's Mayo on the wing. Guarded by Shumpert. Shumpert against Mayo. 6 to shoot. Here's Sanders. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Complete domination. What a game for Sanders. He has 9 rebounds and 2 rejections. He's piling up the rejections to go along with the tremendous work he's done on the glass.
Yeah, really controlling the action down in the paint. It's been his game so far.
The first one falls. Sanders hits them both.
Look at the free throw percentage. Unblemished since halftime, Clark. That's pretty nice.
I'd go farther than that, Steve. How about perfect?
Felton against Mayo. Here's Anthony. Second chance effort. Excellent D that time from Sanders.
This has not at all been the kind of performance they've needed out of him.
Butler that time on the assist by Knight. Knight's got 3 assists now in this one.
He had his head on the swivel and was able to pick out the pass and get the assist.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 10. A minute 50 left in the fourth quarter. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sideline.
Guys, well, Larry Drew had some advice for his team over that last break. Offensively, he wants them to work the ball around more than they have been. He told his guys they've rushed things far too much at that end of the court, and it's leading to sloppy possessions. After making that initial point, then he talked about not getting careless defensively. He wants them playing conservatively at that end of the court. It's pretty late in the game to be altering the game plan, but they're going to come out with a different look here, guys. Back to you.
It was great to hear from you, Doris. There's a minute 40 left in the fourth quarter. Bucks leading by 8. On the pass to Ilyasova. Left side, Butler. Wide open. And he drops that one in. New York, they're working against the clock now. Outside, Felton. There's the dish to Bargnani. Rebounded by the Bucks. At one point, they led by 16. Knight passes to Butler. Sanders inside. He's guarded by Chandler. It's hauled in by Felton. New York's gone 5 of 8 from three-point land. 15 points and a deep ball for them tonight. Pass to Anthony. Plenty of space. That's good, and so Felton has the assist there.
We've seen a noticeable improvement out of him since halftime. He didn't have a whole lot working in the first half.
They kick out to Ilyasova. That's good. And the Bucks lead by 10.
Well, the fans already heading for the exits, clearly not pleased with the way their home team played here today.
And they shouldn't be pleased. I mean, it's a very well-deserved win, Steve. They came into this building and weren't intimidated at all. They were the aggressors.
Mayo dishing to Sanders. Mayo kicks to Sanders. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Boy, they're extending their lead. It kind of feels like they're just piling on here as we come to an end.
Well, hey, let's just call it what it is. They are trying to run it up on them.
New York calls timeout. They're down by 9. 26 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. A platoon swap here for Milwaukee. Second difference between shot clock and game clock. And he gets it to go. And an intentional foul right there. A different look from Milwaukee. The Bucks have gone 7 of 13 from the field here in the fourth. And they go to the intentional foul. Good on the first, and that makes it a 7-point lead. A different look for Milwaukee. Second one is good. Hitting both at the line, and it's an 8-point game. And Clark, maybe at this point, not much of a chance for a comeback.
I don't think it's going to happen, partner.
Yeah, pretty unlikely to dig out of this hole, but you can't think that way. You got to just play it possession by possession.
For the three, no good. This is Kevin Harlan, and thanks for tuning in.
board, Flight 217 into Boston. We're about to begin our descent. Please fasten those seatbelts and we'll see you guys on the ground.
If you enjoyed the video, my name is Jaquavius Leonard Harris. The next time I come on and make another video, we'll be going ahead and going against the Boston Celtics. So I still gotta improve my starting role. So make sure you leave a like or a comment, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.